Over the years, hypnosis has been mythologized to the point where an average person on the street is highly unlikely to know what it actually is and does. And that's because Hollywood, stage hypnotists, and TV tend to portray hypnosis as some kind of dark art involving mind control with gold pocket watches. And that's why I wanted to talk to you about 3 things hypnosis cannot do, as well as discuss what it might be able to help you with if you choose to pick a trained hypnotherapist to work with. The fact is, it's always more fun to make something appear more mysterious than it actually is, and that's what entertainment is. So if you're attending a stage hypnosis show and you watch people with their eyes closed, it doesn't seem so exciting if you just tell them they're a little bit calmer and their mind is relaxed. That's dull. So of course you want to embellish the stage show. You want to use dramatic words like sleep and suggest mind control. And now the whole thing's a little bit more interesting. But the fact is, hypnosis on stage versus hypnosis used to change unhelpful behaviors are 2 very different things. A stage hypnotist is flamboyant and wants the audience to think they're in complete control of those people, and a clinical hypnotherapist is more like a therapist who's helping people to change their lives through interventions using hypnosis to help find the root causes of a problem. When you perform stage hypnosis, you're not looking to help someone change their life, you're looking to entertain an audience. In private practice, that's all I do is use skills to help the conscious and the subconscious mind align together to create a positive change. But before I talk about the 3 things hypnosis cannot do, it's important for you to understand what hypnosis is in the first place and how it feels. And one of the biggest myths about hypnosis is that when you're in it, you're either asleep or in some coma-like state where a hypnotist has power over you. And no wonder people are fearful of using hypnosis when it's made to sound so traumatic. But the reality is much more mundane and frankly relatively boring. When you're in hypnosis, you're in a natural state of focused attention. Your mind is completely awake, but you're almost to the point of a meditative state in your mind, and your body may feel heavy and your muscles let go of any tension. And while you're in this altered state, the hypnotist is either able to give you what we call post-hypnotic suggestions to help change the way your subconscious thinks, or ask you questions whilst you're in this zone to discover what might be going on in your subconscious mind. Hypnosis is a fantastic tool for helping to change bad habits, stop unconscious urges, and create positive thoughts. It's also great at helping people to feel calm and reduce stress. But there are also many things that hypnosis doesn't actually do. So let's dive into them. So, first one, hypnosis can't cure every physical illness, despite what some charlatans will tell you. Hypnosis isn't greatly regulated in many parts of the world, and that means there are people out there in it for the money. And these people will take on anyone who rings them up for a session, even if hypnosis might not be the most suitable therapy for them. And I regularly see this from individuals out there who are making outrageous claims about what their hypnosis can do. Don't believe them. The reality is, if you have a physical illness such as cancer, a brain tumor, let's say heart disease, or something that is life-threatening, you are not instantly going to get relief from a hypnosis to resolve that medical condition. The issue is that when people are faced with life-changing diagnoses and they were told something, that is quite horrible to them, they clutch at any possible straw that they have, and they believe people who tell them that they can do something for them. And that pushes them to use these charlatans, even when it may not be appropriate. Now, whilst hypnosis can't cure all physical illnesses, it can still help, but in only specific circumstances. So an example of that might be pain management. I regularly see clients with long-term pain issues that have not been helped with conventional pain medication relief. And that's because there's normally a psychological element to the pain. Resolve that psychological element and the pain changes. It may go down, the feeling of it. So that's something where we can get involved in a medical issue, but where it's to do with the mind. Similarly, we can see cancer patients, but again, I don't cure cancer. It's just not going to happen. But I use hypnosis to help my clients tolerate their treatment more easily. I can help them to reduce stress and anxiety associated with having cancer treatment. I can help people if they're having difficulty with eating or drinking because of chemo. And I can help with anticipatory nausea brought on by chemotherapy. But none of those interventions directly can cure the cancer. So just take that as, read. We can't cure, but we can potentially change or help conventional medical treatments be more effective. Treating my clients is very individualistic. I listen to what they have to say to me on the phone, and only when I know really a lot of details about their problems will I decide whether I will see them. It's a person by person case, assessment, especially when people have physical illnesses. Any therapist who takes you on at the snap of a finger, I'd run in the other direction. And the next thing that hypnosis cannot do, it can't be used to hypnotize everyone. Now, there's various reasons about who and who can't be hypnotized. One, people with a low IQ. People with a very low IQ are not as easily hypnotizable as those with higher intelligence levels. Studies have shown that this is likely to be due to their inability to concentrate and focus as well for significant periods of time. Also, some hypnotic techniques involve some more complex therapies, such as regression work, rather than just giving suggestions. And that requires the person participating to be able to grasp the concept so that their brain can rationalize what's happening in the conscious versus the subconscious. If the person having the hypnosis is unable to grasp that, then it's not going to achieve the desired outcome. The next ones are people who don't want to be hypnotized. For the most part, hypnosis is something that involves both the hypnotist and the client working together in order to solve a problem. If the client, however, doesn't want to focus during the session and is unwilling to participate, it's not going to be very productive. Age makes a difference as well. I mean, hypnosis requires communication for it to work and for the person who's having the session to have a certain degree of compliance. That means that the age of those people participating is going to make a difference. A baby can't really be hypnotized because it's physically impossible to communicate with them. Similarly, the communication problems continue up until a child is at the age where they can converse well with the hypnotist. There is no firm age as to when this will happen, but as a general rule, you'll probably only start to see children really above the ages of 7, maybe 8. I don't deal with anyone unless they're 10 years old, but there are people who specialize in younger. And the other one is severe mental illness. Hypnotists, for most parts, are not doctors or behavioral psychology experts. Instead, they're therapists. And whilst they may be able to deal with many different conditions, it's not always appropriate for them to work with people who have a severe mental illness. Now, there are reasons for this, but people with a severe mental illness are more emotionally fragile, and it's possible for them to have more severe problems and also to be more prone to suicide or self-harming. So therefore, you really only want highly trained people working with them in therapy in case you trigger their problem and make it worse. So that's the second reasons of things that hypnosis can't do. Finally, the last on my list of the 3 things hypnosis can't do is no one can give you accurate hypnosis success rates. Now, I know that every client who picks up the phone for me wants to ask the question, what is your percentage of success? Okay, can you solve 95, 100% of cases? Well, the fact is nobody should be quoting these numbers because every person we have in our clinics or online has different problems, different motivations, and different circumstances. No 2 people are alike and will get the same results. So a person, for example, may ring about wanting to quit smoking. Now, if these people are fed up with smoking, they're motivated and they're willing to follow our suggestions to switch off those automatic cravings, there is a high chance they may quit. But now imagine the same person has been made to ring us by their partner who's fed up with their smoking. Now, those people aren't invested in the process, they can't really be bothered to quit, and they still really enjoy smoking. Well, clearly their chances of having any sort of success are low. It's impossible, therefore, to give a success rate number with these variables, because if I take on the person who is not invested, guess what? My success rate goes down, and I don't, by the way, I don't take them on now. But you get the gist, it's impossible. So whether you're looking to lose weight, stop anxiety, feel more confident, or stop a bad habit, the complexity of your case is going to make a difference. Don't expect hypnosis to give you absolute certainty before you book, because the reality is that is highly unlikely. Instead, think of it as something that will help you to increase your chances of success if you're motivated to create change and help yourself along the way. Now, while I've talked about the three things hypnosis can't do, there are plenty of things that it can help with. Hypnosis is an amazingly powerful tool that can be used to help people overcome problems by tapping into the power of that subconscious mind of yours. In most cases, the reasons why our clients have problems is that the unconscious subconscious is doing something automatically in the background without the conscious mind really being aware. This subconscious process really typically starts in childhood, but sometimes at other times, and then just keeps on running, producing automatic thoughts or behaviors years later. And this could be because of a big traumatic event or a series of smaller unpleasant or embarrassing experiences. As we forget these experiences because we grow up, then we almost don't associate what's happened in our past with what's going on now. A good hypnotist can work with you to start you to rationalize and understand where these things have come from to help change your thoughts, as well as giving you positive suggestions, self-hypnosis, downloads, etc., to build your motivation and to change the way you think. So I've used hypnosis to deal with everything from things like anxiety, to help weight loss, build confidence, help people reduce their drinking, smoking, and with medical related issues as well, even childbirth and fertility. So don't be put off with the things that hypnosis can't do, but just be wary of people who overpromise. But do expect hypnosis to be used as a great form of therapy to help you make positive changes when you are motivated and willing to work with someone like a hypnotherapist to create a more positive lifestyle. To get more information about hypnosis and therapy in general, head over to Rewire the Mind, my website, and you'll get more information on mental health, mindset, and well-being.